Recording, we're good to go.
Okay, so let's take attendance here. People can go around saying their names. On my screen, George, you're up first.
George French.
Charlene Cutler.
Sid Blodgett.
Crystal Adams. Sorry, Crystal Adams.
And Chandler?
Chandler Paquette.
Okay, thank you. I don't know if you got minutes. I passed them out about 20 minutes ago. I emailed them out.
Yeah.
Sid was very good and he got them. So I don't know if people had a chance to read them. We can take a couple of minutes to look at those if people need them. And when you're ready, I'll entertain a motion to accept them as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Is there any discussion, any corrections, amendments? Hearing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes as presented, say aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstaining? Thank you, Sid, for doing that again.
You're welcome.
I'm trying to figure out how to pull up the agenda here on my screen. So what's next? Somebody who can see their agenda.
Public comment or questions?
I'm sorry, what?
Public comment or questions?
Oh, comments or questions. Do we have any comments or questions from our visitor here tonight who has himself muted? No. Well, it looks funny to all of you, but we're actually about 80 miles apart. So this is how we get to see each other.
That's a big house, yeah.
Hey, Joe.
No comment.
No comment.
He'll probably tell you, but I called him in a panic at like 6:58 because nobody had joined the call yet.
Oh.
And I was like, oh my goodness, is everything okay? Did we get all the information correct? And
No, we were all on point with that. Just we were all just to the moment, sign on, that's all. Okay, so no comments and questions from our public. Crystal, I'm going to have to start asking you to check to see if we're getting any mail.
Okay, yep, I'm happy to do that.
Okay, because we haven't, I haven't checked in months. What's next on the agenda?
Maple Crest Farm.
Maple Crest Farm. Okay, last night we had hopefully our last town approval of this project. The Board of Finance endorsed what the Board of Selectmen did last month, which in itself was an endorsement of what they had done last spring. So in lieu of our town meeting, we did all the appropriate alternative steps. So the town is now ready to go and write its check for up to $65,000 as soon as the state finishes doing what they're doing. So that will be another good project completed. And again, many thanks to all of the different agencies, groups, and whatnot that were involved, but particularly the landowners. You know, it might take a long time for all of us to get it done, but it wouldn't happen at all if it wasn't for the landowners. So many thanks to the Young family for, well, as a family doing this for the third time now. So particular thanks to them. So that's the update on Maple Crest. In my head, I have committees and reports. Is that correct?
Budget for fiscal year 21-22.
Okay, that will be submitted by Monday, which is in time for their January 20th due date. I did put in for the 50,000 that we as a committee recommended last month, and actually chatted, as we can go into a little bit later, with some more landowners. So we'll be submitting a budget that shows that we'll potentially be in the red in 3 years unless we step to the plate. So that's good news. So that's the update on the budget. What's up next, Crystal?
Committee reports.
Committee reports? Is that
Yep.
or okay?
Yeah. Committee.
So since we've got you on the mic, would you like to talk about what conservation is doing?
Sure. We are discussing possibly having Connecticut Audubon come out and do a bird survey. We have approximately 100 acres of town-owned property on Perrin and Quarry Road. If we have the funds in our budget, so I believe we're going to check with them and get a price. I know last month I had talked about how we had appointed someone to be a drought coordinator. That is Josh Batone. Funny enough, I was just browsing a state of Connecticut website the other night, and they had announced that we are no longer in a drought. So yay, that's good news. Because we had been in quite a severe drought all year long. But because of the recent rainfall and the Christmas Day storm and stuff, we are no longer in a drought. So I will let conservation know that at our next meeting.
Wow, we caught up. We down like 11 inches or something?
We were down a lot. It was quite severe.
Wow.
But nevertheless, I think it's a good idea. The state has a good drought management plan, and it might be something that we may consider looking at some of their recommendations as far as an ordinance about drought, management, and just good stuff to know for next time. So we'll be prepared.
Okay.
Excuse me, Crystal, why might you have Audubon come out? I missed that first part.
Oh, we might have them come out and do a bird survey
Okay.
on 100 acres of town-owned land that we have. I think Dean or somebody is going to look into what that would entail.
And which property would that be?
I believe it is property known as the Perrin Quarry Road property.
Okay. Anything else from conservation?
No.
Charlene, you want to chat about what the Board of Finance is up to in these quiet times of the year?
Well, quiet times, it seems like everything relating to the budget is on hold at the moment.
Oh.
Everyone's waiting for information, and that starts with a report on the grand list, which just came through to the committee members today. But until we get some of these numbers together, we won't even have a starting point. There's some concerns that this year has been incredibly unpredictable because of COVID, and we don't know how much more of that kind of unpredictability we're going to see in the next budget year. The school board is waiting for us to give them some direction. We're not even in a position of being able to say we're going to go for no increase year or anything at this point. So stay tuned.
Okay, thank you. Did you want to go next? Tell us what P&Z is working on.
Sure. Not a whole lot from what I recall. Joe, feel free to jump in and help me out. But I think it was a pretty short meeting because it's back in November, I believe, was the shed building business where Scranton Shops is, but that's old news. I don't think there's a whole lot going on last month in December.
I don't think so either.
Okay. How about the Board of Selectmen, Chandler?
Gearing up for budget season. It's always fun. It's always tough to set budgets, but I've got a feeling that this is going to be a real difficult year. We have yet to hear what the Board of Education is going to bring forward. We also don't know about the grand list, as Charlene was just saying, so we're not sure where we're heading, but I've got a feeling it's going to be a tough budget cycle this time.
You will also be continuing to meet with smaller groups like you have in the past. Is that true?
At this point, we're waiting for submissions. Hopefully, and Karen's been pushing everybody to get their submissions in on time, so we can start going through it and digesting it. we know that there's some departments that always have some increases that they look for. The fire department typically asks for some little bit more money for certain projects that they have. It's just going to be tough. We're talking, where we're going to give out raises this year. Last year, we were able to defer the negotiations with the two unions because of the inability to meet with COVID. And so what we did was we extended the contract. We had an agreement with both unions, and there was a raise given across the board. We got a feeling that that may end up happening again. We might have to just just try and push this off again because we can't sit down and have negotiations. But as far as raises go, we're not sure what's going to happen. Other than that, it's the usual. I'm sure the libraries are going to be looking for some different projects, and everybody's got needs, but until we know what the grand list is and what Prop 46 is going to do to the possible spending, we just don't know.
Okay. Thank you.
I'd also point out that last year we managed not to have a mill increase. I believe that was the third year in a row without.
Correct.
And everybody's been hit very hard financially by the pandemic. So it's going to be particularly painful if we have to raise the mill rate just to make some basic, keep some basic things in place in the budget. And so I think everyone's feeling that it's not going to be a happy thing this year.
It'll be interesting to see what happens. The Board of Selectmen is going to obviously do their best to try and keep things down, but without a mill rate increase for 3 years, that can't be sustained. It just can't.
I know.
But also there's been some money taken out of the general fund, and that can't continue either. So yeah, it's going to be tough. And also, just so everybody's aware, because of the fact that COVID infections have gone up across the board everywhere, but Northeast Connecticut's really been getting hit again lately. So now the town hall is basically closed to the public. If I want to go get my mail or anything like that, I've got to contact Crystal, and she'll put the mail out for me in the conference room. They're just limiting, I can't go in and get access wherever I need to go. I've got to set an appointment and just go into the conference room, and what I need will be brought to me.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about that, but we are allowing people in the lobby, but only 6 at a time. We're just taking steps because of the rapid increase in the number of cases. We're just trying to keep everyone safe, so we're taking some steps to kind of.
You're doing the right thing. It's absolutely the right thing to do. It's inconvenient, but bottom line is we've got to really try and get a handle on this spread.
Yeah, and
my daughter works at a daycare and tested positive last week, so she's been out of work for a week and a half. And then the way the Board of Education works, my granddaughters are out of school until the 24th because their quarantine time doesn't start until a certain time after Amanda showed symptoms. So it's difficult for everybody. It's really miserable. And Amanda's daycare announced that if they have to close again because of COVID, they will not be reopening their doors. They will be closing down.
Oh.
Wow.
Oh, it's getting happier and happier all the time. George, do you have anything to add from your at-large committee?
No, my at-large committee has been fairly quiet just lately. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you. Okay, and we will ask the public if they have any final comments before we take a motion to go into executive session. Hearing none, we'll thank him for his attendance tonight, and ask him. There he goes. Oh, okay. No.
Good night.
Good night.
See you, Joe.
Good night.
And we've been attending each other's meetings remotely so that we can see each other.
Oh, that's so sad.
The family that Zooms together.
Yeah. Anyway, I will entertain a motion to go into executive session to discuss ongoing preservation projects.
So move.
And there's a second?
Second.
Okay, so we came out of executive session. All we have left is adjourning. Our next meeting is scheduled for, I believe it says it there at the bottom of the agenda,
February 11th.
February 11th. So budget season, budget planning should be underway by then. Hopefully we will have moved other projects further and we'll have more positive stuff to report. And Board of Finance and Board of Selectmen will be looking it out, planning our financial futures. So good luck to you all.
Thank you.
Yeah. So if you're ready, I'll entertain a motion. Oh, Sid, yes.
Yep, just a reminder, thank you, Dawn, for that notice about the meeting, Zoom meeting. I believe that's Tuesday, January 19th.
Oh, yes.
At
yes.
the Economic Arguments Support in Open Space.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, just a reminder. Thank you.
Yeah,
and
that's a good one. Yes, if anybody can spare the time to participate in that, I think it just might give us some well thought out arguments that we can use in our various capacities as we argue for our cause here. So yes, thank you. I write it on my big calendar, but it's not here. Any other reminders before we go?
Does this committee have any cash available? In which case, maybe we could borrow a little bit and buy some Mega Millions tickets, and then all our problems would be gone.
Yes, a $1 billion jackpot, I believe.
$500 million, I think. Yeah, but that would be great. Yes, if only. That is my fantasy. Set up that big foundation that I would actually call that lovely foundation. So, anything else? No? Okay.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank you, Tan. Second?
Second.
Thank you, George. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
Yeah, everyone.